Okay, so we are back. Our first show of 2018. So let's just get everything sorted up on here. And there we go. So yes, I'm a bit off on the side on this camera here. I apologise for that. It's just that I've got the camera for the miniatures just off to my left, so if I'm sort of right over here, a bit far away. So yeah, I'm in the chat. Mad Cow, well, you can see on the time, it was a little while ago, says, so just me and you, eh? Tired as hell, going to bed for 1 hour. And then Crime Index says hello. Hello, Crime Index, if you're still about. So I just want to close some other tabs. I've got a lot of stuff still open on my desktop. I'm going to close all that down. Just because the streaming software takes a lot of RAM, so Crime says yes, I think so. As you can see, I've got some Scarab Occult Terminators. I've probably been painting them up. I've got a Herald of Nurgle as well, who I might paint. Yeah, I've been doing some of these. They're a bit tedious, I find, to paint. A lot of layers of blue to get that nice and smooth, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Hopefully this camera's okay for everyone to see. I painted some Nurglings up over my festive period. I got 6 bases of these. They all basically look like this. Done a similar sort of colour scheme on all of them, in anticipation for the new Nurgle stuff. Hopefully have a nice little Nurgle demon force. And you might have seen just on our Instagram and Facebook, I've put up a picture of the Lake Town house. Let's see that there. I've done a painting tutorial for this, which will be going out next week, and I'm hoping to get it up on Patreon tomorrow. Really cool piece of terrain. Really fun to paint. Crime Index says Chaos Stream. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of like unpainted Chaos miniatures. I'm a big Chaos player, so a lot of my collection is Chaos. I had a palette around here somewhere. The whole place is still. I'll use this one. Whole place is still a bit messy. Where I've been sorting it out, but it's all good. Just about got enough space to do what I need to do. Put that in there. And now we'll use this brush. Better work on my Inquisition to fight all this heresy. I need to move my drink away from my paint and water because I know I'll knock it over if not. So I've done them all in Thousand Suns Blue, and then I go over with Ahriman Blue. Hopefully you can see it on the stream okay. Because I like my Thousand Suns to have quite light blue armour. So instead of edge highlighting with the Ahriman Blue, I actually just layer it over and just leave the Thousand Suns Blue just in the recesses, which I have already done one layer of on this miniature. That's a bit too thick. So they have nice and bright blue armour. Before we get too far though, I am just going to share this up on our Facebook page. Got really itchy nose again. So, nice and slow on the page. And that should hopefully I don't know why it's coming up with the... It's coming up with last week's show title for some reason. Can't rely on technology. No, it's still coming up with that. And we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I'm hoping the camera angle's a little bit better. It's a bit of an awkward place to have the camera. But it's about the best I can really do. At the moment, at least. I'll always play around with it at a later date. So I hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year. Hope you got lots of hobby goodness. Crime Index got himself Necromunda. Nice. Such a nice box set. I still need to finish my Goliaths. And some Imperial Guard goodies. Nice. And you'll certainly be able to fight all this heresy then. So yeah, I apologise, there'll be probably a lot of blue. I'll try not to do too much just on the blue, because I'd get bored as well. Maybe we'll just focus on a couple of these guys. So all the gold areas have already been painted. I did the whole miniature in gold. Did all the gold areas. And now sort of just blocking in all that blue. Let's see if this will share properly now. I don't even come up with a... No, that's not what I want, is it? That's why. That's what we want. Right, let's try that. That's better. Right. Right, there we go. And now I'm back. So, I'm gathering some ideas for some conversions. Sergeant Harker and maybe something strange for the Inquisition. Maybe Karamazov. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I like Sergeant Harker as well. Definitely go with that idea. Adam Rogers is here. Hello. Hope the stream's alright. That seems like it might be going a little bit slow. I can close this, mind you. Might help us a little bit. Try and get us back in the shot. It might be easier just to sort of hold the miniature down a bit. I think in regards to the light blue on this guy, I think that's virtually done. A little bit behind it there, just on the hand. Then I'll come back with a further edge highlight as well. I had some hiccups, but I thought it was my connection fault. Yeah, I think it might just be mine. But persevere with it, that'll sort itself out. So yeah, with these guys I did the two thin coats, of course, of Thousand Suns blue, and now it's going to be two coats of Thousand Suns, so makes them quite tedious. But they look good when they're done. But if I get too bored, I've got the Herald here as well. There's a colour scheme I want to try with his skin. I want to do that sort of a light blue. And there's a really nice picture in the latest White Dwarf. You might have seen it on the video. Or in the White Dwarf itself if you already got it. Yeah, really nice sort of light blue and purple Plague Bearer in there, and I'd really like to try and replicate that scheme. Yeah, you can see the lighter leg compared to the darker one. Yeah, these are really nice miniatures. I've had them since they were released over a year ago. So, shows how quickly I get around to painting some stuff. Still got my Death Guard Terminators to do as well. Certainly want to concentrate a bit more on my Death Guard army this year. Especially with all the new Nurgle stuff coming out soon. like, thought do something different first and get these guys finished. And Aramon Blue is like one of my favourite paints as well, so any excuse to use one of my favourite paints. Yeah, we'll probably maybe concentrate on 2 or 3 of these, getting some of the other areas done. Otherwise you'll be watching me just paint blue for half the stream. And of course I've got to be very careful not to get on all these gold areas, so it takes a little bit longer than it would if I was doing it as the first step. Okay, so I think it's just his feet. It's just a little bit under here as well. And these areas are quite awkward to work with, but this is quite a good brush, so it's not too much of a hassle. Using the scale colour size 0, I'm just a massive fan of their brushes. I think they only do a 1 and a 0, but yeah, I use them quite a lot and they still keep their tip really well. Whereas I got a new artificial layer brush from GW. I've only used it like once or twice and it's still not great. You can really tell the difference. Now, I believe these are a fraction of the cost as well. So I'm just going to go around with a very thin second layer. I'm not going as far close to the edges. I've got this bit at the back of his head, I did miss that. Okay, so that's the blue base coat down on them two. I think what I'll do, just for my own sanity, is maybe paint some of the silver areas. I won't do that on all of them because there isn't many. I haven't really decided how I'm going to do the guns. I'll probably just keep them gold for now. So take fresh metal, also scale 75, so they do really nice metallics. Regular viewers know that I'm a big fan of these. So I'll switch to the number 1 brush. I might need a number size 0 for getting on that stuff though, so we'll just go straight to the swords. Okay, so let's do all the swords. Just gonna do them all silver. Yeah, as I said earlier, if anyone's late, I painted this Lake Town house for a painting tutorial today. And the next painting tutorial I'm going to do is the Nagel guy. This guy, he rides on his snail, his giant snail, which I've got over here. There's a snail. I can't remember what the guy's called, but I absolutely love this miniature though. So yeah, it's going to be a 2-part, so I'll do 1 part. We'll paint the snail. And the other part we'll paint the guy on top. Oh, excuse me. No, I just burped right into the mic then. Yeah, the guy on the slug. What's his name? He's in a White Dwarf. Let's have a look. There's quite a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of Nagel stuff in here. He's in the Yeah, Horticulus Slimax, that's him, isn't it? I'll probably paint them up similar to how, similar to the GW colour scheme, I think. But yeah, actually also while we've got the White Dwarf here, this colour, it shows up on that little one. I don't really, the light's not so good. We show up on this one. If you can get on there. Come on. Yeah, that sort of like a blue. It doesn't show up too well on camera still, but yeah, it's like a light blue, or like purple. And that's sort of colour scheme I want to try and do on the Herald. So yeah, it's just a case of trying to work out what colours they've used. They might have gone with like a very light grey, blue, like rust grey, or even Fenrisian, even lighter. So I imagine they'd probably started with Fenrisian, then a little bit of sort of purple wash, and then maybe like powdered witch flesh sort of highlight. That's what I'm getting from looking at it, so try that. And maybe we'll try that later on in the show, because we're only 26 minutes in, so plenty of time. I wish I could read that comment. Hopefully it says something nice. Hello, anyway. So I'll switch to the other brush for all the other silver areas. I'll put that away. Seems I missed a bit of blue on his hand there. I'll sort that out later on. It's always a way when you batch paint, and I always find I miss something. Probably do that tabards next as well. Bye. The detail on these miniatures is very good. And lots of detail on the bolt, or the combi bolters and that. The camera wants to pick it up, probably doesn't. But really like these a lot. Thousand Suns release was pretty awesome. As was, of course, the Death Guard. Would love to see a similar type of release for the World Eaters. And for the Emperor's Children. Slaanesh does need a little bit of love, but whether we'll see that. Criminix says, yes, they look quite nice. Yes. That's because they're chaos. Slaanesh needs all the love, yeah. Slaanesh craves it. I really hope we do see some stuff for Slaanesh one day. Love it if they made some like plastic noise marines or more like the old classic ones. It'd be so cool. But you never know. Like the Beast of Nurgle is sort of based off the old classic design, which is nice, rather than the one what sort of come before it. So that's nice. And hopefully we'll see more stuff get based off the older stuff. And of course, everything in Necromunda is based off the old games and the old miniatures, but they just look so nice. Yeah, I didn't do the back of this bolt gun there, so there we go. Old Phil and Graham will start doing the white tabards. I don't know whether to leave the Sorcerer's one sort of red. I might do, but everyone else can at least have a white one. Oh, that's one. Well, that's the front of one. I'll do the back as well. Well, Full and Grey is a good sort of base to start with if you want to paint anything white though. It does go on quite well. I mean, that's pretty smooth just for one coat. Obviously the lighting on the camera probably makes it look just really flat, but yes, that's gone on quite well. So let's try and get one in shot. And what I'll do with these, I'll do a nice Guillemot blue glaze. A nice sort of bluey tint in all the recesses, and then we'll layer it back up and then give it a final highlight. Underdog Painting is here, says howdy peeps. Hello, thanks for joining us. Just painting some Scarab Occult Terminators for the Thousand Suns. Currently tackling the nice white of their tabards. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year's. Getting around the back of these, which is a bit of a pain. There we go. It was okay, it was working a lot. That sucks. Although, as most of you know, I had a break over the Christmas period, and whilst that was nice, the backlog I've come back to is absolutely horrendous, and I still haven't really caught up, like, fully. Getting there. I'm off for a month, back end of March. Nice. That's gonna be weird going back to work after a whole month off. But something to look forward to, so that's pretty cool. Okay. Just need to thin that down a bit just to go over again. Right. Still a few places on these miniatures I haven't decided what colours to use. So, quick drinks break. Let's get glazes on these tabards. My glazes are over there. Callum Patrick is here. Hello. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year's, and thank you for joining us. Just painting some Scarab Occult Terminators for the old Thousand Suns. Later on in the show, I might move on to the Herald of Nurgle. So I want to try a colour scheme on his skin. So let's just glaze these tabards. They're going to look very blue, very horrible. But once we go back over with the white, they'll look pretty nice. So, I mean, they don't look too bad on the camera, but the lights are quite bright. So obviously I've got a slightly different setup now. The lamps are above this camera, so when I hold stuff up to this camera, you know, they're actually bright. It still won't focus very well, but actually bright enough to see now. So if I decide to paint like this, I can just show them off a little bit better. You can see where that really pulls at the bottom. So we have to suck that up to avoid that from happening. Mustn't forget the backs either. Caspian Calaison. Hope I was pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Again, I hope you also had a good Christmas and New Year's. I'll just stick that back on there for now. So while this glaze is drying, let's get this guy out then. So I'm thinking Fenrisian Grey. For those who are joining a bit late, I want to replicate a colour scheme in the New White Dwarf. Camera can't really pick it up too well. But that one on the end there, not the green one, but like the blue one. I'll show it on the other camera as well. Oh, it's awkward. But it's like a blue. Oh yeah, you can see that now. or you could briefly. It's like a blue and a purple. So I'm not really too sure how GW did it. But my guess is Fenrisian Grey is probably the base coat. And I'm probably working up from that. Because it's very light. So while I'm waiting for this glaze to dry, let's get this base coat on. As far as I know, they don't do a lighter bluey grey than Fenrisian. I think, yeah, Russ is darker. Russ Grey's darker, and all the others are more just sort of like a grey. But that's fine. Like I say, we're going to work up from it. So, and he's been primed in grey primer, so it's a nice light base to work from. And if I can pull this card scheme off, I'll probably do a painting tutorial on it one day. Unless Duncan beats me to it. Someone might have asked for this scheme. And it might be on one of their videos in the future, who knows. I'll find out it does it completely different and it looks 10 times better. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, we'll get this Fenrisian Grey on. I mean, it does go on really light actually. I know it's thinned down and I will need another coat, but it does go on pretty light. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Now we'll come back and do this second coat in a little while. Will you do more AOS Tzeentch battle reports? Well, yes, would be the short answer. The long answer will be not for a little while. We used to use a lot of Wayne's army, and I'm not sure if he still got it, but I have still got mine. I just haven't got a lot of it painted. But they are on my to-do list, and I will be doing a couple of painting tutorials for AOS Tzeentch stuff. So when I get round to doing them, then certainly I'll be painting my other Tzeentch stuff. So short answer is yes, but probably won't be for a few months, I reckon. But yeah, definitely want to get my Tzeentch army a bit more up to scratch. I'm going to get some more Skyfires. In fact, I already have some more Skyfires, I just need to build them and paint them. So yeah, get some more Skyfires. I've got loads of Acolytes and even more Zangles. And then maybe I can just throw in some other Chaos stuff to bulk them out. I've obviously got Horrors and Screamers and stuff, so should be able to put a good little force together. Already got the Shaman as well. Might pick up another one of them. So yeah, my Tzeentch army is certainly an army I want to get up to scratch. And then I want to do a Maggot Kin of Nurgle as well. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully, it might be sooner than that if I can get the army up to a good standard. I'd certainly like to. So. And if you have any suggestions for what's good that I should add to the army as well, then fire away. So I'm just going to non-oil the metal parts we painted earlier. Put my non-oil over there, I don't want to knock it over. I've also got Fate Weaver as well, actually, still in this box. Love to get him built and painted. I really do enjoy doing the larger miniatures. Okay. So how's this Herald looking? Still a little bit wet, so we'll give him a couple more minutes. This glaze is actually almost dry as well. What do you think about the new Nagel stuff? My only complaint is that the Great Unclean one is more expensive than the Bloodthirster and the Lord of Change. Yeah, I was a bit perplexed about the price on that. I mean, he's still rather large, but I think, yeah, they've gone a bit overboard on the price. Apart from that, though, I do love the new releases. I don't know if there's anywhere in the White Dwarf that's got them all together, but yeah, they're really cool. I'll be picking them up, definitely. Sloppy Bile Piper has probably the best name. The miniature's quite nice. I love the Nurgling. The Spoilpox Scrivener I actually really like. I really like him. He's a really cool miniature. I'll probably pick them up. Wouldn't mind getting a couple of Beasts of Nurgle. Good thing about Nurgle stuff is, like, you can paint them quite quickly as well. Yeah, I'm also tempted by to start collecting Demons and Nurgle box as well. But yeah, that is a shame it's a bit more expensive, because he's I think the same price as Mortarion. Obviously he's quite a wide miniature, you know, he's a big blob of plastic, I suppose, but and you can build 3 different variants, so they're probably charging you for the extra bits involved in that. But yeah, he hasn't got the height of the others though. But of course, GW now don't really do price rises. They'll just make the newer stuff more expensive. That's how they sort of how they do it now. I was using a full and grey. Yes, hiding behind there. So we'll go back and neaten these tabards up, and then we'll go back to our Herald and see what he's up to. So now the tabards, it's just a case of painting all the raised areas. Just leaving the blue in the recesses. Now I could have just painted these in like a Fenrisian grey or something first. and sort of worked up. It had a similar effect. So it just looks like that. The blue looks just really bright and wild in the light. Just where it's just reflecting off the glaze, I think. But the glaze is very muted. It doesn't look that bright. It's just how the light's reflecting off it. But yeah, big fan of the Nurgle stuff. There's not much they could release for Chaos that I wouldn't like. I think that I'll pick up the Great Unclean one, although I will wait until I see how big it really is. Well, when I get it, I'll be sure to do like a size comparison video on our website. I normally do that for a lot of the big kits, and they seem quite popular. People seem quite interested to see how these larger miniatures compare to each other, so yeah, look out for that. And that'll probably be up on the channel. When is it released? I think it goes up to pre-order this weekend, doesn't it? So I'll try and get it for release day. Get it built as quick as I can. And we'll get that video up. Nice. So Siren is here. He says, "Cooey, hello, thanks for joining me." And we're going to be working on some stuff, me and Siren, in the future, including a gaming table. So be sure to check out his channel, give him a sub, and then be able to keep up to date with stuff we're going to be working on in the future. It's going to be good. It'd be nice to have a new gaming table built. And we have a little idea for something, a little sort of painting aid that will certainly stop non-oil spillages and the like, and also keep our brushes nice and tidy too. So that's something else to look out for. So we'll go back to the Herald because he's now ready for his second coat. So back with the old Fenrisian Grey. A bit of a larger brush on that. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is the base coat colour for that colour scheme. I'll probably paint up some Nurglings with a scheme as well, so it'll fit in a bit more for the rest of the army. Because my Nurglings are all sort of green and flesh coloured at the moment. So we need 1 or 2 blue, but then if I get another start collecting box, I'm going to have even more of them, so I'll just paint them in them. Seen some people do some really cool conversions with the funky new Nurglings, people doing like Nurgling armies and stuff. They got a lot of character, the new Nurglings. All the little ones will appear in all the different sets. Definitely going to try and utilise them. Okay. So I'm probably going to go back and just do the blue on another one of these. Try and break it up doing these blues so I don't go insane. There's a lot of blue. Bring it up to a camera. So again, it's just a case of painting the lighter blue on top of the darker blue and then just leaving the Thousand Suns blue just around all the recesses. Now I'll probably get the blue horror and edge highlight with that. That's a really nice edge paint. I think the edge one's blue horror. But hard to get it completely in shot sometimes. Could you imagine being this awesome at painting when you started out? I remember how bad I was. Yeah, I mean, we were both quite young when we started, weren't we? And I was only 11, so yeah. I'm still not at the level I want to be at though. Oh, I'm one of these people who will strive for perfection. So just keep practicing constantly. But then when I'm painting like this stuff at tabletop standard, I'm not going to try and paint my best on it anyway. But yeah, it's crazy to think. I mean, when I look back at some of the armies, I'm now selling a couple of my old armies, and they're only from like a few years ago. And when I look at the difference between them and what I'm painting now, I've certainly come a long way in a short space of time. Whereas I probably had a good 10 years of painting where I didn't really progress that much. Was it 11? Yeah. Well, it was for me. I think you got into it a little bit after I did, but it wasn't much long after, I don't think. But yeah, we are old. We're getting old. You're slightly older than me, so you're definitely old. I do have one of my first miniatures that I painted when I was 11 somewhere. I'll have to find that up and I'll show that off on one of the live shows. It's like a little lizard man. One of the lizard men from the starter set. And I've still got that. It's nice to keep some of the old miniatures to sort of compare. And because you weren't here earlier, I'll just show off again my little Lake Town house that I've recently been painting for a painting tutorial. So I'm really happy with how that's turned out. And you'll appreciate it because it's wood, or it's plastic, but it looks like wood. So yeah, I can't wait to get the tutorial edited for that. And that'll be on our, hopefully be on our Patreon tomorrow and on the main channel for next week. I've got to do a voiceover for it and then edit the clips together. Actually, I'm showing off, but I'm pretty sure you'd liked it on our Facebook page, so you would have already seen it. But thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out, actually. That's the second one I've painted, and it certainly came out better than the first one. Crime Index says I made something. Woohoo! Awesome. What'd you make? I'm really happy with how the picture of that came out. I managed to get a nice pure white background for once. It's so handy having the light box set up in here now. Just makes such a difference. You just see it behind me. Ah, Sergeant Hartley conversion, nice. Oh, I'm getting gold on them now. Actually, that bit needs to be blue anyway, so... Used a Goliath and a bolter. Yeah, Goliath would work really well for him, yeah. Yeah, heavy bolter. I was only going to say... Yeah, I didn't think about using a Goliath. That's really cool. Someone says, I remember my zombie space marines. I wish I'd never sold them. Yeah, I remember them. I remember seeing the white dwarf when they first came up with like the zombie corn berserkers and stuff. And believe it or not, GW still sell that same zombie kit as they did from back then. Hard to believe, but that's certainly due an upgrade. May have to green stuff some hair for him and make an ammo belt. That's the thing about selling miniatures. I mean, I've literally got no choice but to sell some of mine because I just haven't got the room. But yeah, you always regret them like a few years later, thinking, I wish I'd kept them now, but never mind. Making a bit of a mess on these back pieces, but I can always go back over in gold. I mean, there are probably bits you can use for an ammo belt. Now, the orcs have some good sort of bullets and stuff. Man says Zombie Space Marines, was this a conversion? Yeah. Essentially it was a mixture of the zombie kit and Space Marines. Just regular Space Marine tactical squads, of course, not the Primaris stuff, because they're... Well, they'll probably still work for Primaris. I probably still have the old White Dwarf somewhere with the zombie Khorne Berserkers in, which looked really cool. I need to do more conversions as well. I want to do some more of the Blandjitsu stuff. I've got loads of ideas. I've got loads of bits lying around ready to be used, but just finding time. Maybe I'll do that on one live show. We'll have a little Blandjitsu special or something. Yeah, we kind of stuck zombie heads on them, gave them Dead Space Marine helmets, painted them dark, etc. Yeah. I thought that, but I've got back into a hobby and I was like, eh. Yeah, when you leave this hobby for a little while and then you get back into it, there's a lot of things what are surprising, and a lot of things change, but yeah, there's no official zombie Space Marines, but there's still lots of other cool shit. Sometimes that's the way with conversions, though. They can just be little mishmashes or little head swaps and that, and then they just end up looking really good. So, don't know how... We've got a few of our regular viewers here, haven't we? We were talking about ChinaCast stuff before the Christmas break, and I am pleased to say it did finally arrive. So, for those who are interested, I've got a little bit of it here. I've got the horse from... with a massive gap in his neck, but I will fix that. That didn't go on very well. This horse is from Leopold something or other from Forge World. I can't remember his name, but yeah, the detail's pretty good on the resin. But that's the least exciting thing I've got. Other thing I did get is the Chaos War Mammoth. I'll hold it up in this camera. You see how big it is. He is huge. This is just not even without all his bits on and his big thing on his back. Yeah, if I get on this camera, he's just massive. He's just... yeah, he's huge. I mean, the size of him. Let me compare him to the Herald. There he is. So really looking forward to starting work on this beast. I've got lots of resin to cut, sort of hacksaw off. As it's ChinaCast, it's probably not the healthiest for my lungs, so I'll have to get masked up and really just be careful with that. But yeah, what a solid chunk of resin this guy is. I think it's been a decade since I left. The amount of detail is impressive, and no more metal miniatures, thank Christ. Yeah. Not many resin ones left either. Almost everything's going to plastic now. Yeah, probably about the same for me. Amazed by the latest renditions. Yeah, I mean, they just get better all the time. I mean, this is the back of the White Dwarf with the great unclean ones on there. This looks so cool. Yeah, I quite like the one with the bells as well. He's quite cool. You don't really appreciate the sheer scale of them when you look at them like that. And there's a Golden Demon entry from Magnus the Red. It's just so nice. One of my favourite miniatures. You think there will come a time when they just sell nothing but plastic miniatures? For Age of Sigmar and 40k, absolutely. When it comes to like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, probably not. But yeah, definitely. I think as far as 40k and Sigmar go, I mean everything that gets released now is plastic for that. For both them game systems, they don't release any more Finecast or metal. So I hear Finecast has been a bit of a hit and miss for people. Yeah, when it first came out, there was a lot of sort of air bubbles and miscast pieces. It's not so bad now, but there's so little stuff left which is actually in it. It's okay. Easier to work with than metal, but it's still not great. I don't like using it. I'm looking around to see if I've got any examples of Finecast, but I've just bought so little of it that I don't think I even have any. The only resin stuff I've got is the Forge World stuff. All the stuff from China. Even this cheap Chinese resin stuff is still better than Finecast. Even if I am left with a massive gap in his neck, which all green stuff. Right, so just going back to the Herald, his skin is dry. Well, almost dry, there's a little bit there as wet. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to do a very light wash of Druchii Violet, just very, very thin down though. And then maybe do it heavier around areas what are going to be purple. Poor Horsey's head, yeah. I've got the actual the Leopold guys here somewhere. I don't remember what I've done with my palette. I think it might be under all this stuff. Yeah, it is. There he is. So the man himself, he'll be riding the horse. Can't really see him too well on this camera, but good detail on him. Big sword on his back. His other hand connects to the horse, so that's why I've left it off. You ever work from the colour wheel? Yes, all the time. I use it quite a lot. I even did a video actually on colour theory somewhere on this channel. If you go in the hobby playlist. I mean, you don't even need the wheel sometimes. If you're working with primary and secondary colours, you can just work it out. There is a way you can work out what colours go with what. So if I get 3 primary colours, you have to just pretend that this is more of a blue. So we have our blue, red and yellows. So now I've got to try and remember this. Yeah, so when it comes to complementary colours at least, you can just take these colours and then you choose one colour, and then what you're left with, you mix them together. So for example, red and yellow makes orange, and then that's what your 2 opposites are. And say we had a purple, we know that purple is a mixture of blue and red, so what we're left with is yellow, therefore yellow and purple are complementary colours. So yeah, you can work it out like that as well, but yeah, I use a colour wheel a lot, especially when it comes to working out colour schemes. I like to use complementary colours a lot. Or just colours what are close to complementary. And actually with this colour scheme, there's a little bit in this White Dwarf about using colour wheels for your Nagel colour schemes, if I can find it. Yeah, so this bit here, it's got 4 different Nagel colour schemes, and that's the one I'm trying to replicate. But as you can see underneath, I've got the colour wheel, and it's sort of like a little bit to explain how they've sort of picked different colours. So it's when you get into your tertiary colours that gets tricky. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if there's a way to work it out, but obviously use your colour wheel then. Adobe does a really good online colour wheel, and I use that quite a lot. Oh, what's that mini? Yeah, it's Leopold something. I can't remember his full name. He's on Forge World. on the Forge World website. Really nice miniature, just like an Empire character. Really nice. I bought some Wrath of Kings Hadros models to stand in for some AOS Ogres. They're really expensive and looks great. Awesome, I might have to check them out because I won't mind getting some more Ogre miniatures for my Beast Claw Raiders. Or to at least go alongside them. That's another army I'd like to expand on. Where's my Druchii Violet? It's over there. And I need some Lamian Medium. I have no idea where that is. Ah, there it is. Yeah, I'll look into them. So, Wrath of Kings, I'll try and remember. So just mix up some Druchii Violet with Lamian Medium. Did I say Lamian? It's Lamian, I think it's Lamian. Whatever. And then we'll just do... Yeah, that's really nice. Just a really thin... I think it still might be a tad wet around his gut, so we'll leave that. That's all going to be purple anyway, so... But yeah, really thin shade wash. And then we can build the colour back up. I mean, even if it doesn't look exact like how they've done it, I'm actually quite digging how it's looking already. We'll probably come back in with Fenrisian Grey, and then we'll use some Powdered Witch Flesh. And we'll do our purple areas as well. I probably won't get all the skin finished during this show, but at least we'll get a start on it. I'll probably do a proper tutorial for the card scheme if it comes out really nice in the future. But yeah, I'm digging that. Pretty cool. And do you think the huge survey on Warhammer community will pan out? I hope so. I'm sure, like myself and many others, a lot of us probably mentioned Plastic Sisters of Battle. I think it's just kind of a bit of a joke now. I think we'll see them anyway. One thing I suggested was having a library of all the instruction manuals. I think that would be really cool. But then I've also thought that could be something we could offer on we could offer that on our website. I knew you'd say that. Yeah, I think everyone said that. There was one question as well, it was like, they were sort of asking for one negative thing, and I just put something like, surely everyone's just going to say your prices. I think a lot of people probably say pricing on that. But yeah, I think a instruction booklet library would be really cool. Something they could have. Say what? I think they're one of the questions asking for suggestions, things for their website as well. But we go through so many different box sets. It wouldn't be too much of a hassle for me to take photos of a lot of stuff and maybe get people to submit stuff in, and we could probably build a library of instruction manuals that people could view. The only thing is, I don't know if GW would be okay with that. That's the only thing. They might be a bit iffy about that. I don't know. I feel with the Ashers, they're getting close to doing Sisters. Yeah, and they did the Sisters of Silence as well, who are very similar to Sisters of Battle. So I know there was sort of a rumour in the past that they didn't do Plastic Sisters because they couldn't get the molds right or something. That's obviously not an issue now. They also got lots of demons and vampires. Yeah, I'd love to see more for... Oh, excuse me. I'd love to see more for vampire counts. That would be really cool. Hopefully this malign portents thing would... We'll have some more, but I think the characters and the... I think the characters and the terrain piece is probably all we're going to get off the bat, and just a lot of rules and stuff. I need to work out what I'm doing with this guy's missile launcher as well, but we'll come back to that. I got really excited to sort of paint these when I started them the other day, and now I'm just like, ugh. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight this guy's cloak, because I always enjoy doing cloaks. And we're going to take some Wazdagger red, because that has that little sort of purple property to it. I think that'd be a really good highlight to this cloak. Yes, Sisters of Silence are beautiful. I thought Malign Portents would be a tiny new game box set. Yeah, it seems to be like sort of a campaign book, doesn't it? I really like the video they put out, sort of explaining the Mortal Realms and that. I don't know if you saw that on the Malign Portents website, but that was really cool. I really sort of like how the Mortal Realms sort of work. They're quite interesting. That almost expands, you know, it sort of expands fantasy into more of a solar system rather than a single planet. And I like how each realm, sort of like gets sort of safe in the middle of the realm, I suppose. Some of them are like spherical, some are sort of flat plains. And as you get further and further out, they get more sort of dangerous and deadly. And so your landscape changes so much between each part of each realm. So when it comes to like doing terrain, battlefields and that, it's just limitless, really. You can have something really bizarre, or just something really sort of normal, reminiscent of the old world. You sort of... they've obviously done that deliberately. I saw the Goblin Mushroom Shaman, too busy with details. Yeah, he's really cool. He is a bit too busy, as you say, with details, but I think he looks nice. But there is a lot going on that mini. I am so disappointed. I thought the reveal would be New Death Army, but it was just stuff we'd already seen. Yeah, I'd like to send more sort of miniatures, like just some units or something, but it is just going to be these 4 characters with the terrain piece by the sounds of it. I mean, they might have some more in the future, but that's the thing. We had a wee sneaky peek at the site today. I think I'll wait a few weeks before going back. Hopefully a bit more done up, full of info and pretty pictures. Yeah, and I think they're meant to be releasing stories every couple of weeks for free as well. Some of the stories sound quite good. Certainly more like horror stories. Obviously with death being involved. Yeah, you can see the Wazdagger red's sort of drying now. That dries quite subtly on this base coat. The base coat is just a mix of corn red and Naggaroth Night, sort of reddy purple. There's like flames at the bottom of the cloak, which I'll do as well. See the Warhammer Quest and Necromunda missions they put in the White Dwarf. Do you think they will be collected or become downloadable from GW's site? I think normally they end up just being White Dwarf exclusives. So probably not going to be available on the website. Probably just there to get you to buy the White Dwarf. I really wish that the Order Hero would be anything else than a Stormcast. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I think he's a fantastic miniature, I think he's beautiful, but every time something for Stormcast is released now, it is just that same sort of feeling that you get with the Space Marines, that you just think, not, can we just have something else? I'd love to send another character on Overlord. I do really like the War Queen. Yeah, she's very cool. I have a boner for the Free People, a wizard or something would also be cool. Yes, I love the Free People. I've still got my steam tank right here just sitting next to me. I need to do some more for my Free People as well. Oh, so much to do. But of course, yeah, I've got this guy leading them as well. Also over here, another miniature I haven't finished is my Gore Hathorn. He's getting very close though. I just got to finish doing his face and his horns and his hair, and then he'll actually be done. Yeah, Free People's awesome. I would love to see more for them. The Cheeky Monkeys, I feel, with Warhammer Community is more my kind of thing than reading the White Dwarf. Probably just being a cheap bugger. There's some good stuff in White Dwarf these days. It's actually worth the money, which you couldn't say that about it a few years ago. So his glaze is still drying on him. I am really liking him now. I'm liking it. I'm so sick of Stormcast. They're great models, but I think it would be fun if they would release some Free People, ogres, almost of all death. Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much that Age of Sigmar could benefit from. So much more. Stormcast range is quite large now. My Stormcast army is quite big, and I've still got loads of stuff to paint for it. So there's definitely enough. Was it not the size of a Beano not long ago? Yeah, when it came out weekly, it's like a pamphlet. And there's nothing in it. I'm so glad they've gone back to monthly. It's just, ugh. Whoever came up with that idea must have lost their job. So I'm going to get a silver out again. There's little bits between their legs. Well, between the armour plates on their legs, I should say. That sounded a bit wrong. Yeah, there's little bits between their armour plates. If you've painted Space Marines, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do them silver. Can't really see the ones on the back too well. What do you think about the Start Collecting competition? Is that the painting competition that they're running at the moment? Yeah, I think on the Facebook pages, they have their monthly painting competitions. I think this month is to paint the Start Collecting box. Yeah, they're really into that New Year, New Army thing, aren't they? Really pushing that. I don't think I could paint a Start Collecting box up in a month. Well, I could, but it's unlikely. We need to paint all their pipes as well. I'm going to do that. Did you hear about the guy in America that tried to sue GW? Yeah, I did. Obviously, a lot of the blogs and YouTube channels what jump on anything for hits were all over that. Yeah, that just came of nothing. Shock horror. Ooh, Inky by Darkness. I'm going to do the pipes and Inky by Darkness. Why not? Love Inky by Darkness. It's a great alternative to black. Especially if you're doing like a red or a blue colour scheme, or even green, works really well. Hajinder Singh says, a new year, new army, I can't even get my Dark Imperium set finished. Congrats on the baby, by the way. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I've finished my Dark Imperium. Oh, I don't know, I might have done. Oh, no, I haven't done the Inceptors. I haven't painted them. Or built them. But I actually might have done everything else on Dark Imperium. I've still got loads of Death Guard stuff to do from the plastic kits though. It's interesting when he found out that £24 Primaris characters were actually produced for about 50p. Yeah, the price on them are ridiculous. But that's fine to say, oh, they make these plastic miniatures for 25p or whatever it is, 50p. But they've got to be designed. That costs money. Someone's got to professionally paint one up for the box art, which, you know, is someone's wages. And I know these are all one-off costs and that, but even so, you know, a lot of money goes into actually making the molds and stuff. So there's a lot of sort of initial costs. But yeah, even so, 25 quid is still ridiculous for a librarian or a chaplain. And yeah, they're quite large miniatures, but it makes you weep. But at the same time, with so many guys offering discounts online for GW stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if GW sells everything for 20% more than they'd actually intend to. But at the end of the day, GW can charge what they like, and if it's too much, people simply won't buy it and they'll have to lower their prices. And if they're going to charge stuff for ridiculous money and people still buy them, then, you know, not going to moan. These aren't a necessity. They are a luxury item. If they're an energy company, they probably would get a lot of slack. Slack's probably not the right word, but you know, they wouldn't get away with it if they're a water company or an energy company or something like that. There would be a backlash then. Oh, the competition, yes, globally on their Facebook page. But I think they also mentioned that you can take some down to GW stores for painting competitions as well. So both would be the answer. I never finished my Dark Imperium and I sold the Death Guard part. The thing about Primaris Space Marines, they're really easy to paint, but they aren't half boring. That's the only reason why mine are half painted, because I'm just so bored. Just so bored of painting them. Although I won't mind doing a chaplain and an apothecary at some point, because they are gorgeous. Spot on. I remember when the shops had sales, but not sure if that happens. I always think the safest thing is just to have a monthly budget. Yeah, I should probably do that. Well, I've been really good lately. I can't remember the last miniature I bought. I mean, that China cast stuff was the last stuff I got. It was the last stuff I received. But I ordered all this like late October. It took a little while to come from China. And clear customs. Stuck in customs over Christmas. Yeah, last thing I bought, I probably haven't bought. Well, I've been Necromunda. That would have been Necromunda. Which I know wasn't that long ago, but I bought Necromunda and a few bits for Death Guard. I think they're the last things I bought for myself. I will buy some Nurgle stuff, mind you. Sorry, I keep going out of shot. We're only painting pipes, so nothing too interesting. Just doing the ones on the arms. I will do the ones on the back as well. Forgot about them. I bought some Wildwood Rangers, but they were 30% off. Nice. How good are Wildwood Rangers as well? Like, we're using some in Skirmish. Oh, I wish I had more of them. As always, buy stuff and paint it, and don't buy new things until you've painted everything. Hard sometimes to keep to. Yeah, impossible. I've got too much stuff that needs painting. Like, I could literally just paint all the stuff I've got, like, all year. I could spend all year painting the stuff that I've got to paint, and I probably still won't finish it. Alright, so put pipes on your back. I completely missed them. So yeah, I don't know if you can see, but I've just done this colour on the pipes. I don't really want to do black. I'll wash these down with Nuln Oil till they'll be nice and dark when they're washed, and they'll just be a nice sort of green tint to them. Okay, so that's for pipes. Have you played any of the Warhammer Quest games? If so, what's your opinion? Do you know, I never got round to playing Warhammer Quest. Although I love the miniatures. Everyone I know who's played it loves it. Played quite a bit of Shadespire, mind you. Really enjoy that. But yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Warhammer Quest. And one day I would like to get around to playing. I've got all the miniatures painted apart from a couple. So I'm gonna go back to our little herald. We're gonna get Rodrucci Violet out again, but this time we're gonna go around his belly. Because when we get to doing the darker purple on his belly, that'll give us a nice little transition building up to it. I also want to do the bottom of his foot as well. Like that. I might not even go pure Nagroth Knight or whatever. I might just build up with the Druchii Violet. Shadespire I'm not into, but the wee small boxes they have released I have looking forward to the Skaven box. Yeah, I mean there's rules for them for Age of Sigmar as well, so even if you don't like Shadespire you can use them in AOS. Yeah, I really like them and the miniatures have been brilliant. Looking forward to the Skaven also. I'll probably pick them up. I need to paint the Orcs and the Undead for them as well. But not too much. I mean, not too much of a hassle out there. I could probably paint up them quite quickly. Yeah, I'm really liking this actually. Definitely gonna paint more of my noble stuff in that sort of scheme. I want to do a mixture of the normal. Hopefully, like he'd look okay alongside green stuff as well. Yeah, be fine. A little mixture of colours in the Nurgle army. Great unclean one in that colour would look pretty sweet actually. You and me both, yeah. Yeah, the Skaven box looks really nice. I'm interested to see what Fire Slayer's one will look like. Okay, how are we doing for time? So, how's this guy's cloak looking? Just going to do a sharper highlight on his cloak. We'll take Wild Rider Red for that. I haven't played D&D, but I thought Warhammer Quest was kind of friendly D&D. And a way to grow your own quests and stories, essentially become your own dungeon master. Yeah, I think it's got that sort of element to it, hasn't it? So I'm just using thinned out Wild Rider Red. Just pick these higher edges. Beauty of filling your paint, just like the paint will go on looking really stark like that, but as it dries, that just gives a nice subtle highlight. That looks quite nice. Not going to worry going all the way down to the bottom because I'm going to paint these flames a different colour, I think. There we go, that's pretty cool. Just have his tabard. Well, I think the history of GW was in the past before it became the juggernaut that it is now. Was a way for them to bring D&D to the UK. I watched a Weave history video on GW on YouTube. It was quite good. Cool. Yeah, I mean they've changed a lot over the last few years. Yeah, I mean they started off doing D&D miniatures and that, didn't they? Until they came up with their own game. Oh, I really itchy nose tonight, I don't know why. Okay. I'm liking how these are coming along. I am going to do like yellow and blue stripes on all the stripy bits eventually. They're a bit of a nightmare to do, but get them done. And I'm going to get white sky. I'm going to highlight these tabards. Eventually we'll get round to doing some more on the blue. It's just, that's all got to be edge highlighted on the ones that I have had their feather coats as well. So we just do the same sort of thing on the tabards, just do a sort of highlight on the higher points. Okay. How are we doing for time? So we've got about 5 minutes left, so I won't get into anything too major now. How's this guy looking? Just waiting for the other glaze to dry. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to painting him up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paint all the little eye symbols. I'm going to use speed metal from Scale 75. Ooh. Very, very light, basically Stormhouse Silver. Fortunately, my Stormhouse Silver is just separated so bad. I gave it a really massive shake earlier and it's still just all just the pigment is just separated from the medium really bad, so I'm just going to use this instead. And then eventually I'll go over all these with the green gem paint, which will look quite nice, hopefully. Do you use a wet palette? Sometimes. Not right now, but sometimes I do. I should get into the habit of always using a wet palette. I'd certainly recommend it for everyone. You can make them up quite cheap. I did do a video a while back on just making a really cheap one. That's a job. Yeah, right now I'm just using just a normal, just sort of like an acrylic paint palette. My other half had a load of these, so I just nabbed one. Chrome Index says I made one very cheap. Yeah, I did too. I literally used like greaseproof paper, kitchen roll, and an old Chinese tub. So I'm buying a new one and giving the old one to my dad. Fair enough. Yeah, mine's exactly the same as Chrome Index. I certainly recommend using them. You certainly, if you're painting up a lot of stuff and you're mixing colours, then they're really handy because you can keep your colour mix and just come back to it. Obviously, if you're doing blending and glazing and stuff, they're brilliant. Certainly, if I was doing a more display piece, I would absolutely use one. My mother used one when she was into painting. Cool. Yeah, highly recommend them for anyone. Okay. The cloak looks really nice from that angle. It's come out alright, I think. I'll do green flames on the bottom, I think, and shade and highlight them. It's the same as everything else. I think they look pretty cool. But yeah, these have come along quite nicely. Certainly getting there. So a lot of neatening up and stuff to do on them. For some reason I haven't painted his head properly, so I have to come back and do that. A lot of work to do on his gun and that. Still, I don't know if to get like metallic colour in on the combi bolters. Paint the middle of them like a metallic colour or something. I don't know. I can't remember how I did the ones on my Thousand Suns, so I'll have to look at them and try and match with them. And lastly, this is where this guy got to. Very hard to see with all this light. I don't know if I can turn the lights down a little bit. He's getting there. I'll go over with Fenrisian Grey again and then highlight the skin up and see how that looks. So that is the 2 hour mark. So that is the show for another week. After our little hiatus, we're back to weekly for now. As I mentioned in the 2018 video, when the baby's here, it might be every other week. Who knows? I can't really predict these things. She could sleep really well Thursday nights, for all I know. So it is only 2 hours. So it might be the only painting that I get done each week. So we'll see. But in the meantime, yeah, I'll be back same time next week. So that's 8 PM UK time until 10. Thanks everyone who's joined us this evening. It's been another great show as always. A good way to kickstart the year. I'll post pictures of these up once they're done on Instagram, Facebook, etc. So be sure to look out for them. I'll see you all again next week.